have to be very specific as to where my head is right now, because if I'm not, then the sun comes through and there's a terrible glare. So if it looks like I'm not moving, it's because I'm not. Hey friends, my name's Gabrielle and welcome to FrumiousReads, and welcome my favorite flowers ever. I love sunflowers, they are my absolute favorite. Okay, so I am going to BOOKCON. BOOKCON is happening this Saturday, May 14th. I am flying in on May 13th, and hopefully I get to do a really cool, like, touristy Chicago things. Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Like, I already know that I'm going to bring a bunch of books to get signed, and I know that Jay Kristoff and Amy Kaufman are going to be there. I know Victoria Aveyard's going to be there, and generally I'm just really excited and cannot wait. So, let's get into the books that I read this week. The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, 10 Girls to Watch by Charity Someway, Great Love Poems by Shane Weller, Attachments by Rainbow Roll, Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard, The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, and The Day's Starling, which none of you have heard because it's actually the literary journal that gets published through my old school, which feels weird to say because I literally just graduated from there. Obviously, we are going to start off with Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This is a continuation in the Red Queen series. It is the sequel. This one came out recently, and so now I have to wait, and I'm dying. This book was a lot better than Red Queen, in my opinion. Red Queen, it was kind of a lot of world building, like it was a lot of introduction to the characters and kind of developing their personalities. In this one, we get to see those characters that we already come to love reacting in totally hostile and insane situations. We get to see them as they kind of process the decisions they've made and are affected by the consequences of their actions. It was a lot darker than Red Queen. It was a lot edgier. I thought I dealt really well with like the trauma that the characters had to face after the events that happened in Red Queen, especially Mare. Mare just had such a complete and total character change, and it was really good. It was really well done. It seemed very, like, you know, true to herself, but also true to the events that happened. Generally, this book was really good with pacing and keeping the action going, but there were a few parts that I wished would have kept the momentum of the story, but instead they got kind of slow, and I get it was like there was pauses in the action, but it felt like there was almost too much of a pause in certain areas. That was my only complaint about this book. I loved how Victoria Aveyard used Mare to kind of show like the process of her grief, and that was really good. So, the next greatest book that I read this week was The Beautiful Life and Sorrows of Ava Lavender. It tells the story from Ava's point of view, but as she is the one telling it, she goes all the way back to her grandmother, and then tells the story of the women in her family from her grandmother to her mother, and then finally ending with her story and how their individual lives have affected hers. It's got a lot of magical realism in it, which is really cool and also expected because Ava is considered a miracle child because she is born with wings, and there's no explanation for it other than it happens to her, and her family tends to have these instances where they run in with the supernatural. But it's just really good. It's just so beautifully written, and Ava is just an amazing storyteller, and each of the women that she talks about just have such engaging and conflicted and just really colorful lives that they live, and so it's so interesting to read. It's kind of got a lot of romantic interest in it because each of the women in her family have had their own experiences and dealings with falling in love and falling out of love, and it's really nice to see that not all of the love stories shown are romantic love, and not all the love stories shown are like immediately work out as soon as the people meet. It's a really captivating book. It's really good. I highly recommend you guys pick it up. It's definitely a different kind of romance to read, and it's definitely a really interesting book that has a lot of supernatural realisms and a lot of like cultural ties in it. And the last good book that I read this week was Attachments by Rainbow Roll, which I don't think anyone is surprised to hear me say that I love this. It's just such a fun and quirky story. It's basically a story about this guy Lincoln who takes a job working security, and his job actually turns out to be reading other people's emails who get flagged as inappropriate. He actually ends up reading these two women's emails going back and forth and really enjoying their conversation and just like how they talk to each other and their friendship. And these women are Beth and Jennifer. He has a kind of a budding romance with Beth, but obviously she has no idea who he is, and then it turns out that Beth ends up seeing him around and falling in love with him. He has no idea except for through her emails. I mean, obviously Rainbow Roll wrote it, so it's going to be really good. I think this is one of her first like adult kind of novels, and I really enjoyed reading it. It's definitely a new change of pace from her, but it's just a funny story, and I could easily see this book being turned into a movie, so I have nothing bad to say about it. This book was really good. I enjoyed Attachments. It's something different from Rainbow Roll, which I'm excited to see that she's branching out to more things. But okay, yeah, so that wraps up my week 18 of my book a day challenge so far. It's been going pretty well. It's been going better now that I'm not in school. Really excited for BookCon this weekend, so if you guys are going, let me know in the comments below. For my Around the Year 52 Books Goodreads challenge, I am choosing the challenge of a book with a beautiful cover, which is gonna be Six of Crows. I just literally said Six of Crows and then a crow flew by, so I'm figuring it's a sign, like the biggest sign ever. The black pages, and then I love the crow in the front, and just, oh, it's so pretty. Like, this is easily like one of the prettiest books that I've seen this year, and I've been putting off reading this for so long, and I'm finally just gonna do it because why not? That is all that I have for you guys today, so if you guys haven't seen my latest video, then make sure you stick around. It will be playing right after this. If you guys like this video, then make sure you subscribe. I try and upload bookish videos twice a week. That is all that I have for you guys today, so thanks so much for watching, and I will talk to you guys later. Okay, bye. Of course there'd be a construction happening the day I decided to record this video, because why not?